The one question that's come forward is it'd be great to discuss what would have been the right steps to take in the specific examples and some of the best practices. So in terms of what would have been the right steps to take, if we look at say the home hardware decision, right? You've got an internal investigator who A, has not conducted a sexual harassment investigation before, B, has worked for decades with the complainant's father, who is a senior manager at Home Hardware. So right from the get-go, Home Hardware would have been better served by acknowledging that, look, leaving aside the investigator's experience, look, just by virtue of this investigator working for decades with the complainant's dad, let's not use this individual. Let's find someone who understands and who has actually conducted a sexual harassment investigation. And in that way, we can have more confidence, both as a company and then also from the perspective of the parties, we'll have more confidence that this is going to be done the right way. And it's not to say that if you do those things, that you end up with a perfect investigation or that you end up at an accurate conclusion in terms of what happened. However, from a process standpoint, right? From a process standpoint, it puts you in the driver's seat. Like, you are able to then say, we found a competent investigator. We don't have someone who's got a friendly relationship with either of the parties. So this is truly, a neutral individual, internally, who can look into these complaints. And if you can't find someone who you can look at with some confidence to say, you can't find someone who doesn't have that close relationship, or you can't find someone who's got that skill set, it's really easy to pull a competent investigator in and have that person to do that work. So I would say in the Home Hardware case, that's a clear, here are the things that the company could have done to avoid that bias. In the Boucher and Walmart decision, that's simply one where the organization, I don't know to what extent others in HR vet the work of the investigation team, right? Because if you then get this investigation report back and that report says these allegations are unfounded, one of the first questions I would have is, why are they unfounded? So who did you meet with? Right? Who did you ask the complainant or the respondent whether or not there were witnesses to this event? Did you get those individuals' names and their contact information? Yes. Okay. Did you meet with those individuals? Okay. Where's the evidence in terms of what those individuals said when you met with them? And this investigative team should be taking notes of their interviews. You should be able, if you're conducting that oversight role, you should be able to see what occurred at all of these interviews and what was said. And you can identify whether or not the right questions were asked, and whether you then need to go back to these witnesses to fill in the gaps in that evidence. But that would have been, from an internal perspective, that would have been the step that HR should have taken, is figure out why is it that you've got these serious complaints and you're finding that all of these allegations are unfounded. That in and of itself should raise red flags and result in a deeper review. So that's, do you want to get to some other questions? But Ada, just to answer your question, I hope that gives you an indication of some steps that the companies could have taken in the cases that we reviewed.